Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is SAP Analytics Cloud Learning Series, and today I have come up with a new video, a new concept that is inverse formula in SSC. So today we will understand what is inverse formula and when and how to use inverse formula in your use cases. First of all, apologies. Last week I was not able to post any new tutorial or demo. I was sick. I had a very bad throat ache and cough. Because of that, I was not able to speak clearly. So I was not able to record any tutorial or a demo. But this week I will try my best, to post more videos. But stay tuned. So I thought I'll come up with something very quick and easy to shoot. So today we will learn about inverse formula. Like in upcoming weeks, definitely I'll try to make a tutorial on the topics that you already suggested. I'll definitely try to do that. So let's continue with the today's tutorial. I have logged into the tenant, and in my previous one of my previous videos about advanced planning feature, where we learned like how you can disaggregate data, how you can set lock to the cells or read only, what is unbooked data. In that tutorial I had mentioned about lock cells, that whenever for any account dimension, for the dimension members, if that member has a formula added, then that member cells are by default locked in SAC. That means, suppose for this account dimension DGL account, I have a member like profit contribution, and in the public dimension table for that profit contribution, I have added a formula. If you add a formula against any dimension member, then that dimension value is calculated by system. So by default, SAC will add a lock. That is, you cannot input the value. Okay. So if you input the other like members which are included in your formula, then the formula will be automatically calculate the value. So this is a by default behavior in SSC. But now I can enable this edit if I use the function inverse in the formula. So in while writing a formula, if you add the inverse function, then this cell become a editable cell, and you can add the profit contribution value. And if you add a profit contribution value, vice versa, either revenue or direct cost will be calculated. So now for calculating profit contribution, we need revenue and direct cost, two values. Okay. So if I use the inverse function, and if I can only put the cost value and profit contribution, and based on that your revenue will be calculated. And if I input only revenue and profit contribution, based on those values, your direct cost will be calculated. So using the inverse formula also, you can make the formula cells ready for input or ready for edit. Okay, now let's see how you can use the inverse formula. But before we move ahead, we have to understand how this different formulas work. Okay. So now consider if I'm inputting the cost value as a positives only. Okay. What is profit? Profit is nothing but revenue minus cost. Okay. This will be my formula when I'm inputting the cost values as a positive value. Then if I want to calculate the revenue, so the revenue will be, obviously cost will go there, then profit plus cost is nothing but revenue. Okay. And if I want to calculate cost, then what will be cost? Revenue minus profit is nothing but cost. So these are the formulas which we need when we are writing any inverse formula. Okay. Then now suppose my cost values are negative values. Then profit should be revenue plus cost, because my cost is already in negative. Then I will, add both of them. Then my revenue will be profit minus cost, and my cost will be profit minus revenue. So these are the different use cases. Whenever you are going to write any inverse formula, first try to write down your use case like this, because when you're writing the inverse formula, then this is clear and your formula will be right and accurate. There will not be any mistakes. So always try to write down your business use case. Okay. Now I have two business use case, either my cost is positive or negative. Okay. Now first, let's go ahead considering my cost value is positive. Okay. Now I will go back to my formula. So obviously this is the base formula. Base formula means obviously profit contribution, how you calculate is revenue minus cost. Okay. So uh, the first is my base formula. Okay. So now profit is revenue minus cost. I will go back to it. I will click minus. So this is my base formula. Now I have to add a inverse formula. So if you want to add an inverse formula, first you have to add this vertical bar. So whenever you want to add any inverse formula, you must add this vertical bar, then type inverse. Okay. So I can see inverse function. And as you know, in last quarterly release, like for SAC, they embedded AI in the formula editor. What is like now, like in every tools now, AI is trying to make its place. So in SAC, whenever you are trying to type any formula or use any formula, the AI will auto suggest what your formula should be. So when I typed inverse, AI already suggested me what inverse function I want to use. Okay. So like whenever now you are using SSE, when you are using a formula editor, when you type any formula, there will be now auto suggestions, ready-made formula snippet. You can just click and it will be added here. Okay. So now already it suggested that, okay, that inverse, this is my revenue. I'll go back to my formula. So what will be my revenue? Profit plus cost. So it already suggested that. Okay. Now I added only one inverse. You can also try to add other formula also, that is cost equal to revenue minus profit. For that, click or, then again inverse and the other formula. So my revenue will be profit plus cost, and my cost will be revenue minus profit. So, so either I can input revenue, either I can input cost, and vice versa, the other formula, other value will be calculated. So this is considering my costs are positive. I will click OK. I will click save. So I have added the inverse formula. Now I will go back to my P demo story. I'll refresh my story. So now you can see uh, this is now editable cell. Earlier it was a locked cell. Now I can, edit the values also. Okay. Now I'll try to change my profit contribution. Okay, I have inputted here negative values. I'll make them positive. It became 0 because now I'm considering the positive use case. See. Okay, I'll just publish this much data. Okay, now I'll just change my profit contribution. Suppose it is 10,000. Then according my revenue changed. Okay. Now if I'll put revenue as a 0. So according and I'll put this as a 0 first. Okay. And this as a 0 also. Okay. Now let's start. I'll put profit contribution as a 20,000. So it will make revenue 20,000, and I'll put cost some thousand. So accordingly, this will get updated. Okay, so this how and I'll just change this profit contribution again to 18,000. Okay, so this is how your revenue is adjusted, and I'll make cost as a suppose 2,000. Okay, now I'll change revenue to 3,000. Okay, and I'll make this as 0. So this is how the automatically, if you input profit contribution something, it will automatically adjust revenue and direct cost. So this is use of a inverse formula. Now I'll go back to my formula. So now there is another function also like inverse if, and we will try to understand inverse if. Now I consider only one use case, like if my costs are inputted as a positive, and what suppose by mistake the planner inputs a negative cost, then also my formula should be very accurate and you know uh, you can say very adaptive according to how user is inputting the value. Then I'll adjust my formula. What I'll do is first I'll write a if condition to base formula, that if, okay, if my cost is uh, greater than 0, that means it's a positive value. I'm sorry, greater than 0, then obviously it should be revenue minus cost. Otherwise, it should be revenue plus cost. So if my cost is greater than 0, means I'm inputting the cost as a positive, then it should be revenue minus cost. If I'm inputting as a negative, then it should be plus. Now this will be my base formula. Now in inverse also, for positive cost and negative cost, the formula is changing. Okay, like the revenue is totally opposite, even the cost calculation is totally opposite. So this will be handled using the inverse if function. Okay, so whenever you want to start the inverse, you must add this vertical bar. Then I'll just click here and I will type inverse if here. Oh, I forgot to type or. Then inverse if. So inverse if my first condition is obviously my direct cost is greater than 0 condition, then my formula will be this control X, control V. So this is my first, so my inverse if. Okay, then I'll just convert this, control Z, Control C, Control V, and comma. So I have added two inverse if now. When my cost values are in positive. Now I will add two more inverse if where my cost values will be negative. Okay, I have completed the formula now. So in this formula, I am trying to accommodate, both the use cases where the planner uh, or the end user, might input the cost in a positives or he input the cost in a negatives. Okay, so I have used the inverse if function, to accommodate and return down these use cases. Don't worry, I'll post these formulas in this video's description also. When the cost is positive value, what should be the formula? Normal formula using inverse. When it's negative, what should be the formula using the negative or inverse? And this complex formula using inverse if. You can take refer this when you are creating your own business use cases. Okay, so I'll save this. I'll save my public dimension. Then I'll just refresh the story, and we will see. I'll publish the data if existing any changes I did, and we will see. Okay, now the first is revenue 19,000 and direct cost 2,000. Obviously, revenue minus cost 17,000. My cost value is in positive. Similarly, the second case is also my cost value is in positive. So the difference is 500. Then I have a other case where I'm inputting the cost value in negatives, and you can see it showed correctly. Then I have a other use case. My revenue is lesser than the cost I put, so my profit is in negatives. That is also right. And where my profit or my cost and revenue both are same, then the profit contribution should be zero. If I'm putting the cost in negative also, it is zero. If I'm putting the cost in positive also, it is zero. So it is trying to handle both the use cases when the business user is inputting, either might be positive or either might be negative, but the profit contribution, calculation. And I can edit also. Suppose the profit contribution is, okay, I make it 500. Then accordingly, my revenue was adjusted. And suppose I make it 50, and accordingly, my cost was adjusted. So this is how, uh, you know whatever, if you input the profit contribution value also, the revenue and cost will be changed, and now your formula profit contribution is editable cell. I'll just publish this data. uh, Thank you for watching this video, and let me know how did you find this video. Please add your comments and like this video, share within your community. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next tutorials.